Now, believe it or not, I did know about this specific adult cartoon almost like a year ago because Adult Swim sort of kind of dropped a sort of stream, sort of a secret stream they drop on nowhere to promote all brand new 5 shows they making, but only the first or part of the episode. And one of them was Common Side Effect that I did watch, but I never made a review for. I never remember the title of the episode because it's just so unique and strange. And now we have time to actually talk about it because I remember I did enjoy this, rewatching this. Yeah, I remember why I liked it. That sort of surreal, kind of mimicking life, but at the same time making kind of fun of it, sort of kind of odd. But everything just works so well after I finished these 2 episodes because it really kind of really opened my eyes what they attempted to do, because this thing quite literally mimics what's happening right now about how the medical industry is sort of not helping the poor people or how helping the rich people, how they're not overlooking it in those scenarios. They quite literally kind of mirroring that right now. But ironically, this show was sort of developed for many years. Let's face it, if you do know how animation work, animation takes a long time to produce. Could take easily to maybe 2 to 10 years, sometimes even 20. And this is the thing, it took so long, it sort of accidental, sort of mirrored what's going on right now. It's sort of kind of shocking and surreal, especially how they approach this show, because this show feels sort of kind of X-Files, but kind of like a comedic take, best way to describe it. But it is really good. But at the same time, I could see some people not fully interested because how the slow pace, kind of quirkiness. It's, I think the best way to describe it is sort of the X-Files meets King of Hill. And I think is the best way to explain what the show kind of vibe is. Of course, before I continue on, my name is Rachel. I'll talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People put like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now they can start on my first impression of Common Side Effect. Now let's get started. Now, this is not the first time Cartoon Network or Adult Swim make sort of a commentary show. You have, for example, Boondocks, but I think the better example who mirrors sort of scenario of Common Side Effect is the We Were Bear movie, because that one was sort of comedy, sort of the Black Lives Matter sort of situation, but you never actually wanted to commentate. It was sort of the experience of the creator by accidentally sort of leaning at the same time. It sort of was there in the right time, in the right moment, and Common Side Effect was something very similar. It's just sort of strange how Cartoon Network or Adult Swim always accidentally leans off very interesting political prompts in the moment. But remember, this never was kind of planned. It just sort of kind of happens. Now, what is this story of Common Side Effect? It's basically this character called Marshall, who is sort of a scientist, a plant scientist who accidentally find a bestie mushroom who could cure all illnesses. The only problem is the government knew it exists and they don't want it to be in the industry because it easily killed the market and basically let a lot of people lose their jobs. But you'll also have the other side, Marshall's side, how he explains it. Do you think this is not right? Do you think this is just too weird and wrong, especially right now in society? I mean, Marshall is preaching so hard, but yet it's so true. Every little line just kind of makes sense, especially what's going on today. It is something wrong with society today. Everybody's more spending more money, more problems, more things that can easily be solved, but it's not. It's almost they want us everybody to be in shambles. And this is the thing of the theory of Marshall. He believes the government or the business people who own all the basic medical things, all of them are basically conspire against him. And you know what? It's true, especially how he tell his backstory, how he find the mushroom, and we started using it. He sort of started realizing people are watching him, people are setting hitmen against him, but he realized what's going on. He attempted to escape and sort of show the truth about this miracle medicine. But I love it. It still doesn't go this all conspiracy theory that government always knew. No, no, no. The people who work in the government doesn't really know the reality in the moment, especially the two busy ancients they sent to hunt down Marshall to basically just, oh, he's a sort of a terrorist, take him down, and they just do the job. But I love it, they have sort of comedic events in the sort of scenarios. Like they said they're ancients, but they're not the best ones or the worst ones. They're okay, but yet it is kind of weird, kind of quirky, kind of characters that you think they'll be comic relief, but no, they just kind of quirky, and that's it. They're very enjoyable side characters who, little by little, realizing the scenario and wondering, should we take Marshall down? But for right now, this is two-part episodes. You don't know they're actually getting the full picture. But not just them. You also have the people who run the medical business. Marshall find a friend who works in the basically a very specific company who are desperate for a miracle, for a sort of another cure for a sellout now, to sell this specific product. But Marshall does not realize her friend is about that. But the only problem is she doesn't know this sort of miracle problem, because the only thing she's worrying about is the fact she needs sort of a new product. And she thinks this is sort of the answer, but not realizing this is sort of opening a new can of worms that you cannot stop. She, little by little, realizing she stumbled up to something so dangerous she not yet realized. And I enjoyed that. Every single character has a very interesting point of view. Even the COO of this sort of medical business, he's there just for he needs sort of a new product to save the company. He doesn't care the main issue. Even that, he's sort of incompetent. This CEO, not caring, is more like he has so many things going on. He doesn't know how to react. He's almost avoiding reality itself and just sort of figuring out what to do next. And I feel that's sort of interesting, because usually this type of kind of genre, like, oh, this evil government who knows everything what's going on, stopping everyone, how evil they actually are, how efficient they are. No, no, they're not efficient. They're completely clueless like everybody else. In this way, I mean, it feels kind of mirrors reality, like they give way too much credit of the government or way too much credit of the business people. They're intelligent, but they're not like 5 steps ahead of anyone. It's just sort of kind of blindsided of their own sort of business strategies. And I think this is why it made it so real in reality, even that they do have a side group who actually are knowing what's going on and trying everything to stop the situation, stopping Marshall and her friend who is helping the basically the medical section. And I found that sort of very interesting, like everybody trying to do something but not realizing how big this is. The only one who knows a Marshall and this sort of side company who wants to stop him. But this is the thing, if Marshall is right, yes, in a way, yes and no. And I found that sort of fascinating, because if he does show this medical problem, basically the business people who run it will probably lose their jobs, not just the CEO, everyone. And you just wondering, this will affect the comedy if Marshall released this sort of miracle drug. And that's the sort of $1,000,000 question. This is the smart thing to do. Is it wrong or right? It doesn't give you the answer, because it's certainly up to you if you think Marshall's doing right. Even Marshall, that he is sort of that typical sort of, you want to say mad theorist in a way, but he is right. But at the same time, you're wondering if he's doing the right thing. It's just sort of interesting, because every single character has its own interesting sort of thing, opinions, life. You understand the sort of conversation. They will not basically be the evil bad guy. They're just doing a job. Like almost everybody in this show are not set up to be just villains with no personality or reason. They're just doing a job. And that itself is really, really hard to do because you don't really know how to make this show compelling. Of course, I have to warn you, has one major thing is sort of the pacing, because the pacing is good, but it's not perfect. This way I sort of compare it to sort of King of the Hill at the very beginning. That sort of has great pacing, but you have to admit some episodes of King of the Hill sort of sections is sort of a little bit too slow sometimes. You have to like rush it a little bit. And this is what it feels. You have slight moments kind of slowed down. They not yet how to pick it up. But this is just the complaint of the first two episodes. Because the first two episodes, it's just setting up everyone. So yeah, it's just sort of the beginning. Yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen next to Marshall and this sort of magic miracle work medicine, that he can use it or not, especially how strong this medicine could be. This sort of small Marshall, if you eat one, you cut your finger, it just regrow the finger again. And that's how strong, but at the same time, you're also wondering the potential of it. But yet, you sure this is a smart thing to use? It feels it's something that the garment should use, but very kind of calmly and safely how to use this around people. Don't overflood it to actually hurt the economy. And something that feels that could actually also happen if done like smartly. But once more, we're not there yet. We don't know if they go that specific direction, but the possibilities is almost endless, especially what type of genre this is, because it is sort of a thriller, sort of conspiracy, and it works so well. But at the same time, I don't believe could be a grand hit like everyone believes, because a lot of cartoon fans in the cartoon community believes this is sort of the game changer of Adult Swim. In a way, yes and no, because this type of cartoon only specifically maybe get people interested if they actually like the idea, like this sort of genre. And hopefully it does, because this is very well made, very well written. I mean, well made. This feels movie experience sort of moment. This is like, it feels this should be in theaters, because the sound, the art, the everything, every single moment, they have this sort of cinematic moment every single couple of scenes. Not every single scenes, you have specific moments. Just feel this was meant for theaters. Is how grand, especially the music, even the art, because the art is just sort of kind of strange in a way, because it's all about this sort of normal bodies, but they have almost big heads. Almost best way to describe it, sort of bubble heads, but not fully bubble heads. It's like meet you halfway. You something that you notice and you think that would be sort of distracting, but no, it fits so good that you just don't notice it. I mean, you notice it if you're animation fan, but it works, especially how they blend a little bit of reality and 2D together, because this is part of it sort of live action, part of it is sort of 2D, but they blend so well. They know how to put it where they think they need it, and just give it sort of a cinematic kind of point of view. And just make it more a stronger viewership, in other words. And this is the reason why I think a lot of people think this is sort of the next age of animation, specifically adult animation, because let's face it, adult animation does not have respect as sort of the European section or the Japanese or Chinese section. Here in the West, adult comedy is just sort of Family Guy or South Park. They don't never have that sort of cinematic respect of animation for adults. They have sometimes, but never really a big hit. Of course, this can change, depends how popular it is of this specific show. This can easily change it or modify it just a little bit, change the respective of adult animation. The only thing we can do is hope hope it is popular enough to get more people eyes in it and give more respect of adult animation. We really need this. This is what a lot of fans are hoping this could be the game changer, or at least the event to have this sort of domino effect that other companies risk more adult cartoons but mature, still funny, but more basically better made, more sophisticated, in other words. And you know what? Maybe I want to believe, but I know how adult cartoons usually happen because there have been like two very good animated adult series and they flopped. They're very well made, well told, but they always flop because never really find the audience or prove Hollywood there is an audience. There really is. It's the fact you just don't know how to promote it to the Pacific people. And I think that could be the issue, or maybe not. I don't know because you cannot predict specifically the normies or even the nerd fandom of animation. You just don't know. But hopefully this can change at least a little bit on the game. You just need a little hope. And please don't forget to basically hashtag this on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram and TikTok, because the more people talk about it, the more people will notice this exists. Just a sort of a little warning, because let's face it, if you wanted more adult, mature cartoons, nothing like Family Guy or South Park, something like this, you must talk about it. Don't forget to tweet and like of this every single time you see a post of a different website. Just tweet about it and post about it and comment it, because those things does give you more push of whatever project you like. Just a FYI if you want things to change. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. What do you think about this show? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.